In a world where addiction can ravage lives and communities, 1 month's journey stands as a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience and transformation. Meet Bernard Nkurunziza, the founder and director of Aruka House Uganda, a biomedical engineer and mental health advocate, as he shares his remarkable story of recovery during last week's Kyoto Fireside conservation organized by the Emerging Leaders Program.
Addiction is a giant killer. Addiction is a dream killer. Right now at the center, one of the patients that I have, this gentleman was the best student in Uganda, the whole country in O level. He was the best student in A level. He was at Uganda Matters Namugongo, 6 years, got 25 points. Did electrical engineering on this mighty hill, got a first class after he became a Rastafarian. And today, by the time I took him to rehab, I was getting him from Nyamushechera prison in Bushenyi. My name is Bernard Nkurunziza is the other name. I work with an organization called Aruka House Uganda. Aruka House Uganda is a rehabilitation center, and we are doing life with people that have struggled with life-controlling issues, including addictions. I'm also a recovered person. By the grace of God, 2025, I'm making 21 years clean. Some of you guys are not clapping. You're trying to be sober for 3 hours, you know? Anyway, so by the grace of God, I've been sober now for 21 years. I struggled with drugs. I struggled with alcohol. I was on the street for 4 years.
Bernard's journey into addiction began innocently enough, like many teenagers. With just one puff in his senior one, he ended up in a spiral that saw him expelled from over 6 schools.
I struggled with drugs and alcohol. I started smoking when I was in senior one at Mbara High School. Hey, Chapa, oh yeah! Hey, Chapa, oh yeah! They don't know. Yeah, so I think I passed there I was at Mbara High School for 3 weeks. And I was expelled. I went to Busoga College, Mwiri. I was expelled. I went to Kigezi College, Butobere. I'll cut it short. I went, senior oye. That's the only senior south of Sara, north of Limpopo. They also don't know, Aha. Yeah, so, my O level, I did 7 schools. I was on the street for 4 years because of the addiction. I wasn't born an addict. And it started just with the first puff that I had at Mbara High School. Back in the day, we used to experience a lot of bullying. You guys are saying you're bullied at school. You don't know. They used to call it Kanika Pajero. They will put you under a spring bed, and then someone goes on top of the bed, and then they start jumping. So for you, they say, you look like, then you say, they bullied me. Ours was real. So in hiding, would go hiding after classes. Now, in the Mbara High School, there's a place called Django. Django is across Ruharo, down there. So we'd go hiding. We found guys who were in Form 3, Form 4. They were smoking. We were 4 of us. And then they asked us, has any one of you ever done this? They were doing weed. Then I was like, oh, no, I had never. One of us said they had ever. So they were like, do you guys want to try? Because we wanted to be cool. Like the Form 3s. We all decided to try.
With that one puff, he delved deeper into the world of substance abuse. He found himself trapped in a cycle of dependence. The consequences of his actions would soon become devastatingly clear.
I do life with people that have struggled. The number of guys that you see here are people that we've worked with and have recovered and they're clean. Yeah? And they'll be here sharing their testimonies. Our approach is simple. We don't come here with PowerPoint and say these are the, because the last time I saw the causes, the effects, they told us that people smoke to pass time. I've never understood it. Why do people smoke? That's what they taught us in primary, right? They smoke to pass time. When you start smoking at 8, anyway, let me not go there. But our PowerPoint are the lives you're going to see.
As Bennett's addiction is sadly not an isolated incident, many young people have struggled or are still struggling with the same. One such story is that of Dixon Mbonye.
I'm 10 months sober. I made 10 months on Tuesday. By the grace of God, definitely. So I started drinking in my late years of high school. It was mostly for fun. I would buy tots, jump out. Every school has a strict policy, security, fences up there, but we find the loopholes. Yeah, you know how, unsurprisingly, the addicts are the smart guys around. The smart guys who know how to maneuver. They can figure it out. So we did that. We would jump out and buy alcohol. It was in tots. Those of you who may know tots, I'm not sure if you guys know tots, but yeah, the small packets of alcohol. And then we jump in. Of course, some get caught, and they are brought in the assembly. They announced expulsion, punishment. But for the ones that stay, it leaves our minds the moment we leave the assembly grounds. So it's with the fun that it came on and the illusion of brotherhood that we would have, you know, when you're with your boys, your friends, you're jumping, you survive. You guys, I survived that as scary. Man, let's share this thought. You get? So that illusion of brotherhood or friendship that comes along with that fun, yeah? Man, let's have a drink, you share stories, you conversate, you have these deep, meaningful bonds, yeah? In that state of, you're drunk, in a state of being high.
Mbonye's grade suffered the consequences of his addiction and he could not make it to university. He had to sit in the sidelines as he watched his peers carry on with their seemingly fancy lives.
Of course, my grades weren't good, and I didn't pass. And then I went to a technical college in Bushenyi called Kahaya, a Uganda Technical College, doing a diploma in civil engineering. And man, I start my first year. So that took a toll on me, of course, because my peers were in Makerere, yeah, hit-up guys, were in Chambogo, guys were in Kenya, guys were in the States. So they were in all these places that I had fancied to be, but I was in Bushenyi. So like, you know how you guys can share your whereabouts, your IG pictures, you're posting, someone is posting there in some nice place, yeah? There's some nice restaurant, they're touring some place, probably in the UK. Now, me, I was in Bushenyi, we like Hughes, yeah? We have cows and donkeys. We have, if you're lucky, you get a sunset, a beautiful sunset. Then you post call, you get. So you keep like proof of life. That's what they call it, right? So that took a toll on me, my emotion. Like, cause I would come back and there's a little phase of people move on from you, even the people that you called friends, yeah, people that you thought were so close. People that you thought were your diehards, yeah? They move, like 1 year goes, 2 years go, and they move past. Like, man, Dixon went.
His relationships were in tatters, his health was deteriorating, and his sense of self-worth was all but destroyed. The darkness of addiction had become his reality, and it seemed there was no escape.
A course that was supposed to be 2 years, I did it for 3 years because of alcohol and cigarettes, because when I joined, I started smoking cigarettes in the technical college. So I would smoke, I was now drinking. Then from that, I joined UCU, doing, I first worked a bit, getting some money. Of course, with the money, the alcohol increases. The time you spend with your peers, the time you family, everything started deteriorating. But during all this period, my family didn't know that Dixon smoked and drinks. I was hiding it really well. Then I joined campus in 2020. I was doing civil engineering, civil and environmental engineering. So I joined campus with this attitude of excitement of trying to catch up. Yeah, my friends have been partying. My friends have been having the time of their lives. My friends have enjoyed what's there to enjoy. So I joined campus with this attitude of like, Dixon, we need to party. Dixon, we need to drink. Dixon, we need to look for the prettiest chicks. We need to, you get it? That's what was in my head. So there's no party I didn't go for. There's no club I didn't go to. The point of I started hosting bars, because like when you are the chief drinker, you're the one that is now hosting there. So all those things happened, and my grades deteriorated to a point where I wasn't attending class. I had so many retakes. I had dead years coming in. So, and still during all this, as I was saying, the addicts have ways of maneuvering and lying, and we're really, really sharp. So during all this, my family didn't know that I was smoking, I was drinking. But then there were signs. There were signs. Dixon is rare at home. Dixon doesn't sit with us. Dixon doesn't share as much as he used to share. So this one day I spent about 2 weeks away from home, and then my dad, with his concern as a loving man, he comes to Mukono looking for his son. Then, as fate would have it, he goes to the only place he thought Dixon would be, which was at a friend's place, and he finds Dixon with some girl. Dixon, the floor is full of liquor. Dixon, the floor is full of cigarette butts. He said a few words. The only thing he said was, Dixon, so you're now married. And then went away. And a man has very few words, but with so much depth. He said just that, and it hit me that I tried to follow him and I tried to defend myself. But what can you say? I mean, everything is plain as day. So with the feelings I had in the moment, as you know what, Dixon, let's just go back and drink. What's done is done.
Consumed, he found himself at rock bottom. Mbonye took himself to rehab. And
from then, it deteriorated to a point where I had to go to rehab. I took myself to rehab. To the only rehab I could go to, which was Butavika. Because of it has a section that is free. And in rehab, especially Butavika, there is a lot that you get to see. So I did my 1 month. I went back to my friends. Now I thought I was awake. I thought I was okay now. I could control. So I kept around the same circle. Which was drinking, which was smoking. And with the confidence I'd built in rehab, I was like, man, I'm actually really good, yeah. Let me just stick around my friends for the company. You get, for the company, for that car, sense of belonging, yeah. So I stayed around them until I took my first shot, and I went back to even worse where I was. I went back to, so now I'd taken 2 months sober without drinking, without smoking, but sitting around the same company. So 2 months sober, I missed my exams, my end of semester exams, all of them. I missed them because I was hungover from the previous night. Now imagine all that tuition paid, wasted. I can tell you I have survived death by only the grace of God, because the times I would move are crazy hours. Someone is telling you there are thieves with panga somewhere, but Dixon didn't fear. Dixon, because of where he is mentally right now, he feels he can, I don't know, bend metal or something. I'm standing here by only the grace of God. That is the truth.
Anita Ray's story is that of addiction, selling drugs at a young age, and sexual abuse. She also shared her story at the Fireside.
I am a mother of two. I have a 16-year-old boy. I know, I look young, I know. And I have a 9-year-old daughter. Professionally, I have been a media personality for the last 11 years. That is in Kenya. I do teach digital media and social media. I have a degree in teaching about child online protection. Someone talked about pornography and the things you do when you're watching pornography. So I teach about protecting our children from those things online. I also am a mentor. I've written a book. I'm an author. And I do a lot of things. I do mentorship. I do so many things. But also, on the 2nd of June, I'm going to be 2 years sober.
Her addiction could be classified as homebred, having been introduced to the bottle by her father.
I got addicted into alcohol from home. My dad taught me alcohol when I was 5 years old. So, yeah, we had a bar. And we had a bar, and it was normal to drink in our house. It was not a drug. I wanted to be my father so much that when I grew up, I started smoking cigarettes when I was in Form 2. That is 2004. I started selling weed in school when I was in Form 1. I was expelled from 3 high schools. In my village, if someone saw you with me, your mother will kill you. Like I was just bad news, you know. I was a rebellious child. And I started being, because of a bit of trauma, I came from a broken home. I started being suicidal when I was 15. So I really tried to figure myself out. And then I ran away and went into the streets when I was 13 all the way to 15. And I was raped when I was 15. When that happened, my life changed. I wanted to die. So for a long time, I tried to commit suicide. I became an extremely difficult child. I was drinking heavily. I'm smoking cigarettes. I'm selling weed. I was expelled in every school I went to. So my dad made me a deal. Just finish high school. Then you can do whatever you want to do. So I finished high school. I never went for my results up to date, by the way. I got married immediately after high school. I felt like I'm a grown-up. I know what is my mother telling me. You know, this age you're in where you think you know it all. I mean, I got married at 17. I had my son at 19. It was a very abusive marriage. So I left in 2011. It's how many years now? That's 14 years. Yeah, I left in 2011. So I left my marriage and decided to start life. But then I had this one problem I couldn't get rid of. I was an addict, a proper addict. So I went into media for 10 years and I used to drink heavily. You know, most women hide their drinking. I'll smell good. You'll never see me smell alcohol. He was talking about the things you put under your tongue. You know, I could take, when he says mixologist, I could take a lot of pills and you'll never know I'm high. So I did that for a very long time. But the problem with addictions, they come with sexual problems for women.
While alcohol and drugs have been romanticized by society, addiction can take one from the pinnacle of success to the depths of despair, leaving you with nothing but shattered dreams and broken relationships.
You see the glory you're coming from to the lowest you can be. I'm dealing with people that got a first class at university, that come from some of the top families in this country. By the time we are putting them for treatment, we are getting them from Berkeley. Today, Bandali Rise has the best English speakers. The best brains are dying in shisha, in meth, in weed. The concoctions that people are doing mixology. You know mixology, right? People that are doing mixology, mixing all these things together, they didn't do biochemistry. Nigga, these are guys who have no skill. They do not know the effects. Someone is getting UG, Uganda Warad, right? Mixing it with soda. You think they still drink punch? Boss, these are not days of punch. It's called mixology. Someone gets like 8 different brands. And then because they know how naive you are, they'll put a flavor. And they will kill you. Can I say this? The most ignorant people are the educated people. People that do me judge. You know me judge? This thing they put under the tongue. Listen to this. The manufacturer puts on it. The manufacturer, I'm talking about the person that made it. This tobacco smoking is harmful to your health. It causes cancer. It causes death. Listen. They put under there only for export. Where is Nijad manufactured from? Where do people go for cancer treatment? Thank you. Do you get my point? The manufacturer has clearly put it. And then ask the young people, yo. Can I say something? Do you know that Uganda today is #1 in alcohol consumption in Africa?
It's a devastating fall that can happen to anyone, regardless of their background or status.
By the way, don't also be mistaken that these drugs are for planned kids. Listen, yeah? You're hearing, guys, I was in Budo, I was in, boss. Hey, people also from the other schools, when you come to campus, and you choose to do that, my guy, you end up. Let me tell you, there are people down here in Katanga who were not born here, who came to Makerere to study, and they are fed. They can never get out of it. They are there 40 years. When they came from wherever they came from to study here, they reached here, instead of studying, they wasted a lot of time. They chose tuition.
Heavy drinking and drug use very often also triggers a descent into psychosis, a terrifying realm where reality is distorted and the mind is consumed by hallucinations and delusions.
Let me tell you. Now, okay, I'm not saying that men, you're any better. It's worse when a woman is in the bar. When your friends are calling you for these outings, none of them is going to tell you about psychosis. None of them is going to tell you that a few months down the road, you're going to be walking naked on the street. There was one of the schools in this country. A girl was a head girl of the school. But she used to escape, jump, because she was a prefect. So she would do whatever she wants to do. She goes out. She goes out. She comes when she's so high. She was doing weed, yeah? When everyone was going for assembly the next day in the morning, she woke up, put on her nakedness, and walked in the school compound, the head girl. Listen to this. Some of you are saying that for me I can control. I know how much alcohol I can take. Sweetheart, that's a lie. It's one thing that leads to another. Have you ever heard of something called dopamine? Yeah? That feeling good thing. The height that people go to look for in the weed. Yeah? The pleasure kind of thing. Yeah? And the more the pleasure, the more the demand for more. And before you know it, let me tell you guys, madness is so real. You look at things that young people are doing. When you're doing those expensive liquors, now with girls today, for guys, Torero, what? Coffee Spirit, what's the other ones? What are they called? Yes? You know. Okay, the ones you saw in the cabin nearby. Yes? Chitoko, Chibuku, Which one? Yes? Kasese, which other one? Muati? Yes? That one I don't know. Which one is that? Okay. Yeah, now. But for girls, for them to feel like they're high class, they need to take the expensive liquors, right? Now let me tell you. These things you're taking are 45% alcohol content. And guess where it's going? Your brain. When people that are in the beverage world are advertising. Okay, how many of us have ever tasted Waraji? No, just. I'm not saying that how many of you drink Waraji. Okay, how many of us have ever tasted? Now, when you tasted for the first time, did you do the thing that the kabeb does when she's taking like? Did you do that? Didn't you even spit it? Exactly. Because they know how naive you are. And guess what? Today, do you know what they are doing with everything? Flavor. Oris. People smoke Oris. It is tobacco. But you know the smell of tobacco. And guess what they will do? Put vanilla. And then for you, who is high end, you'll go for vanilla. Sorry.
In this altered state, the lines between reality and fantasy are blurred, leaving the individual disoriented and disconnected from the world around them.
He mentioned something here. He said, like, you come and you see a tree. And you're like, my guy, first come. Have you seen that tree? This tree has been seeing it for years. Listen, by the way, these things you may think that it is sharpness, like concoction. These things are even in the Bible, in Proverbs. The Bible says that your eyes will start seeing strange things. You've heard stories of some artists, like someone is like dozens on the 4th floor. And then all of a sudden they say he fell down. You know what happens? Hallucinations are real. As he's there, he's on 4th floor. I didn't say the name, please. There is also another one on the other side. Yeah? And then you're here and you're seeing another building there. So like when you look down, it looks like a trench. You become like Superman. Yeah? And then you come from up there. You're down. And tomorrow your bouncers are taken to prison. But where were they? Man, the guys... And that's what it does.
The road to recovery is not an easy one. It's a journey marked by setbacks and challenges, but also by moments of triumph and joy. For many, the journey of recovery has been a transformative one.
Every time you feel like there is something that is grabbing you, air it out, put it there. The enemy will not have anything to do with it, because that shame is in secret. Once you put it to light, you have freedom. Because the truth makes you free.
All my life in addiction, I was walking asleep. And now that I am in recovery, I am awake. And it's the truth. Because now I can tell when someone actually has a problem and I can say, good morning, how are you doing? Genuinely to see if the person gives me a right reply or is kind of shady or that. But before, I never used to care. I was so self-centered. I only wanted things around myself. Anything that concerns me, my booze, hanging out, what's the new thing in town. And, you know, the problem with friends, they'll see you going down this road and they will never try to pick you out and say, you know what, you're going in the wrong road.
All these stories are a testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience and transformation. From the depths of addiction to the heights of recovery, we are reminded that recovery is not just about the individual, it's about the community that supports them.
When alcohol comes for you or drugs come for you, they will not respect you because you're a medical doctor. You will do medicine, you'll get a first class, and you'll do your master's and you'll do your PhD. And you know it, that cigarette smoking causes cancer, but you will die of lung cancer because of a cigarette. Sometimes, the Bible says that God uses the foolish things of this world ashame the wise. When it comes to some of these things, no one is bright. No one is sharp. Anyone can fall.
New Vision TV. Stream smart, stream New Vision.